Hi guys, this is Diane of Minimize to Maximize, and today let's look at the rose petals that I harvested a few weeks ago from my backyard, and let's turn it into a tea. I'm planning on using this tea throughout the colder weather, in the fall, in the winter. I can't wait to see what my rose petals look like, and I hope it looks pretty and delicious as well. So here is where I have dried several of the plants that I've harvested over the summer and that I've started to dry. So I'm going to start turning them into teas. I've dried them up for tea purposes. Some of the plants that I've harvested, I actually used the fresh organic matter of the plants, like freshly harvested, and I turned it into a tincture. But for those plants that I've dried up, my plan is to turn them into teas that I can have, the loose leaves or petals that I can use it into like a simple tea, very fragrant but not too strong. Or I can turn them into very strong, nourishing infusions, whereby the dried leaves or petals or buds or whatever it is you harvested, or even roots, are steeped into hot water and and brewed for several hours. I usually do this overnight so that I have a very strong, nourishing infusion the next day when I want to drink it. So let's check out my rose petals. Okay. It's in one of these bags, and I'm introducing you to some fun plants here. That's mullein. I will do another video for this one. My rose petals are in this bag. This is a cotton bag, but you can dry your harvested plants in paper bags. I'll try to avoid drying them in glass. I've done this several times, but it doesn't breathe enough. So I've had some of my harvested plants turn a little bit moldy, mildew, and once it's gone bad, you can't use it. So I just had to toss my entire harvest because I didn't dry it properly. So this little bag works for me. Anything made out of cotton or linen, something that would be breathable. And you're going to simply put your fresh plants in there and just toss it regularly, gently, and put it in a dry, cool place away from the sun, because the sun is going to probably start degrading the matter. So it needs to be not too sunny. Yeah, I'm realizing I forgot my funnel, so I'll be back. Okay, there's my funnel, and all you need once your fresh plant is fully dried and crunchy, then you just place your harvest into a jar. And so here's my little system right here, and look at what I'm finding here. I don't know if I can show you. That is petals. And the only thing you need to do, I'm going to move this, is to dump your plants in there. And I don't know if you can see, but this looks so gorgeous already. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay. I not have too much. I'm going to dump it. Oh, yeah. My jar is way too small for the amount of petals that I have. But look at this beauty. Oh my gosh. It looks so gorgeous. Ooh, okay, hold on, focus, phone. Yep, this is it. This is my rose tea. And I'm very excited. I haven't tried it yet. I have made a rose petal tincture last year, which I'm using. It's a very gentle, gentle medicine. So I'm using it from time to time. Not super potent as far as I know. But I like to have tea as well when it gets cold here in the mountains. And that's a good way to get nutrition. It's a good way to get vitamins. It's a good way to get some protein depending on the plant if you turn it into a nourishing infusion or a tea. So I see these guys are great allies, friends, helpers. But once again, it's important to know your plant, your local area, and to make sure that when you harvest or forage anything, that it is actually what you think it is, and that you study the plant properly. There's lots of reference books out there. I do like to use this reference book right here from a botanist, Nicole Apelian. She's a cool gal. Her book is called The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It has a lot of the very common plants and shrubs and trees that have medicinal and edible properties here in the United States. But be familiar with your local area and try to connect with a local forager who knows the flora, who can explain a lot deeper and confirm the identification of the plant. But chances are that if you have a little backyard or a little neighborhood where they don't spray anything on the plants, chances are that you have some edible and medicinal plants. And one that is very overlooked and very easy to find is rose bushes, rose petals. So yeah, I have a standard rose bush in my backyard, which was planted before I arrived. I don't spray it. I just water it from time to time. But it keeps on coming back year after year and giving those beautiful red roses. It gets really hot in my mountains here in Southern California. They're my mountains. But I live there and I love it here. And so the petals don't last too long. The flowers, they bloom and they're here for like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and then the heat and the sun being relentless, it just dries them so quickly. So I harvested my petals in time this year, woohoo, and I dried those up. In my area, the petals were dry in like 3 weeks. But you might live in an area that is very humid, so just be careful to take your time to dry your plant matter. And then you just put it in a jar. And that's it. And that's gonna last a long time. Make sure there is zero moisture in here. It needs to be, your plant matter needs to be very crunchy, crisp, breakable, and it needs to feel like a tea. Because if there's any moisture and you close that jar, it's gonna turn bad. It's gonna ferment, or there's gonna be a bit of moldy substance matter, and the minute you see that, you have to toss the whole thing and redo. So I am so excited to try this out, and maybe I'll do another video in the future, but it needs to be on a cold day, or maybe I'll make like a sun infused, like a sun brewed tea made out of the rose petals, and then keep it in a glass jar and then put it in the fridge over ice. That could be nice. That's something to try. Lots of ideas. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give a like or a comment, ask your questions, share the video, subscribe to my channel, minimize to maximize. Well, the goal is to minimize the clutter and to maximize the things that bring us the most joy. And life is very joyful when we let go of the stuff, the excess that is not serving us. And I know that for me, creating a relationship with the nature around me, the plant, the land that I live on, and creating a relationship with those plants is really fun and fulfilling. And I don't need to know it all, but neither do you. You could simply start with a simple plant you have in your backyard or in your neighborhood, or in your local forest or by the beach. Start with one plant and see where this leads you. Experiment with it, learn from it, and it's fun. It's fun and it's useful. It's good for your body to know which plants are helpful to you, maybe to some of your family members, and some of them are edible. So super fun. Take care, guys, and I will see you on the next video.